I was dancing and then seated and singing. And all of that is all part of yoga. It's all part of coming into union with yourself, coming into unity. Union is what yoga means. It's actually the translation, the Sanskrit translation. And that's what we're really, it's so brilliant being, 8 to 10,000 years old. And they knew then that all is one. If you listen to a lot of the great yogis, it's all the same message. It's oneness, one humanity. It's all about giving and receiving love. And so that's what we're doing here, giving and receiving love. Pull the knees in when you come down. Feel the lower back, roll the knees in a circle. And I'm just going to review what we did all week, which is we started to look at Buddhism. We started to look at the Four Noble Truths, because for years they were a mystery to me. And it's no longer a mystery. And I think it's because of this expanded vibration into the fifth dimensional realm. Lengthen out the legs, reach the arms above your head. Take a deep breath in. Oh, and stretch. Oh, and just really stretch. Make sounds if you want, anything that comes out through the fifth chakra is opening your voice. And you're opening the voice of all women. Remember, we're not separate. And we'll be sure to see that women will react, to this restriction in this country from a state. And then just relax as you just take a moment to know that, the first noble truth is the existence of suffering. And then the origin of suffering, second noble truth. It's all about suffering, the cessation of suffering and the path to cessation of suffering. So it is what we're all working with. Bring the feet flat to the floor and drop the knees side to side. And just imagine the sparkle of light at the sacrum, the sacred, sacrum, for the word sacred, from the word sacred. The sacrum is this sacred connection to our evolution. It's the fused, triangular, powerful part that holds the snake. And the snake is such the animal of transformation. Bring the knees to one side and head to the other. You can go into a gentle, moderate, or vigorous. Have your equipment really close by so that you can decide what do you want to do. Put a block or a cushion between your knees or behind your back. Cross the top. Put the knees, hips, and thighs on top of each other. First, very gentle today, taking in the gentleness that we need to honor and bring loving kindness to ourselves so we can work with this process. Because when one person suffers, we all suffer. There's the so many roots of the suffering. Why do we have so much? Where is it? Within our own lives, you can just look at your own life and work with the suffering within your own human existence. And just helping that, just supporting that, just healing that will heal the whole world. That's what you're bringing to the rest of the world. The three kinds of suffering are the suffering of pain, change, and conditions or conditionality. Bringing the knees to the opposite side, head turns. Pain, change, and conditionality. So we have a lot of suffering up right now. There's so much change. Even though always we have change, we have bigger change now than ever before when humans have ever been on the planet before. And there's, 8 billion of us. Ah, so when we see the suffering from each of the disasters that happen one at a time, when people are somewhat prepared and aren't prepared, when states are prepared or not prepared, where cities are prepared or not prepared. We're just learning what this next 10 years of change will look like. Pain, change, and conditions. The pain or suffering of conditions or conditionality. And then back to center. Bring the knees in, bring the head up to the knees as far as you can, hands down as far as you can if you can reach your toes. Make yourself super small and feel the constriction of all the different kinds of suffering. Yoga just somewhat brings words to life. You feel it, you embody it, you understand it. This is the constriction, this is the tension. What we want to do is continually find that whenever that tension comes into our consciousness, we know the way to release it and become a light again. The light shines out with five-pointed star. And you feel the freedom. Now, when in doubt, go outside and lie on the earth in five-pointed star. Take in the sounds and the smells and the feeling of air on your skin and how your body comes to the floor, what parts of the body touch the floor and what don't. Go to all your sensory perceptions, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your tongue, your taste. Go to it all. And this is part of this Buddhist practice, is to be totally, fully present in all of your senses. And then see again one more time. Inhale and bring yourself in, and the toes or somewhere, and you're making yourself small. You're the seed. Consider that we all are change makers and we can plant seeds all over the place. And the seeds of change making may just start inside yourself. Like me, somehow I got called to be part of the Heart Brain Coherence Initiative, the Global Coherence Initiative, GCI, Global Coherence Initiative. And in that calling, since a few more things happened in the world, I was called to figure out more what service can I be to that action. Open into the light again, plant the seed, see where you're called. A little calling or a big calling, a calling to someone in your family or a calling to the city or town or neighborhood, or a calling to just to clean up your own little life, a calling to your body. And then we go to loving kindness. So feet flat on the floor, bring the knees together and take a moment in constructive rest. Feet wider than the knees, arms gently wherever they feel comfortable. And breathe gratitude through the heart. You know a lot of breath patterns by now, and there are hundreds, thousands of ways to work with the breath. The extended exhale ignites the parasympathetic nervous system. But sometimes we need like a very patterned breath, like inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. You can create the structure you need for any moment. Sometimes it's too much chaos and we can't get to an easy breath. Breathe it through your heart with incredible gratitude, overflowing gratitude for aliveness, for awareness, for this practice, for our circle of women. There's so much to be grateful for. We each have a house, a roof over our head. We each have food on the plate. We each have our own ability to recognize our next step. We each can embrace others because we have space within our heart to embrace others. Oh, gratitude, appreciation for all of nature, appreciation for all that we have, appreciation for each other. And you can change all of that into loving kindness for ourselves. First step. May I be happy, healthy, whole, free, live with ease. May I take that in, bringing my hands to the heart, loving kindness, bringing my arms and holding myself like I could hug myself. Take that breath and inhale through the heart. So now we have heart-brain coherence and we're connected with each other even more on this call. And in heart-brain coherence, the energy of the heart goes out. They have measured it thousands of times more electromagnetic energy than the brain. As soon as you come into coherence with the brain, this is all the work of the Heart Math Institute. Then lengthen out your arms, bring your feet parallel and inhale up. Deep breath in, exhale down. Gratitude for the deep breath in. As though now you're going to fill that heart even more with that overflowing gratitude, sparkling light. Imagine the colorful, sparkling light that's going out from your heart. Breathing in, I'm light. Breathing out, I'm colorful light. Breathing in, I'm white light. All the chakras shine. Breathing out, I'm the 12 chakras that I'm just learning about. Breathing in, I'm the spirals of the 7 chakras that make white light, the visible spectrum. Breathing out, I'm the new understanding of seeing the unseen. Inhale up. Exhale down. Finding your way with your own rhythm, slower or faster. The next piece of this is compassion. Breathing in, I'm compassion. Breathing out, I'm compassion. Breathing in, I'm compassion for myself. Kind of related to loving kindness, but it's got a little different energy. Breathing out, I'm sending out compassion to all those who suffer. Breathing in, I remember Thich Nhat Hanh. Breathing out, I bring into my heart the Buddha. Breathing in, I remember all of the ascended masters that are part of my journey. Breathing out, I send out the wisdom of all those ascended masters into the understanding of the 5th vibration. Breathing in, I hold the breath for a moment and just hold all that energy in, build that energy up in your heart. And then exhale, but keep the body up. Long sighing exhale. Then press into the hips and strengthen the core. The stronger we are physically, the more energy we can hold for ourselves and others in our bodies. So strengthening the body, and this is part of why the asana practice is part of the 8-fold path in Hinduism. Then hold the posture. Bring your arms down by your sides or lace them underneath your buttocks, walking the shoulders together, or just leave them by your sides and hold for a moment, then get ready to walk in place. Now you might need to have your full shoulders to support you to walk in place. You might need a block underneath your sacrum to support you. So have all the equipment ready for when you need it. Follow your intuition for what you need to do. You can lengthen out each leg. Find the breath. Gratitude for this moment in this particular shape. Awakening the 2nd and 3rd chakra while we're working with the 1st and the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, grounded into the earth so that we can have our creativity. Then feet back onto the floor, come up onto the toes, and see what we're doing here is that creative spark, your new creation in your life is here in the second chakra. And the third is the power to take it into, to manifest it. The rest of the body is supporting you. Then lower yourself down, lengthen out the legs, full support from the earth. Reach above the head, stretch, stretch, stretch. Maybe one side, maybe left foot, right hand, maybe the opposite, right foot, left. So you're working this posture a little bit more. And then bring the arms down by your side and just take a breath. Shavasana. Feel the vibration that you've already created. Then a little bit of, just a little bit of core strengthening on the floor here. Hands behind your head, press into the lower back. And remember, this is also core strengthening where you just press into the lower back. Keep that back pressed into the floor, lift the shoulders, exhale. With an exhale, as you come up, you'll see that tightens those cores, that those, at least those long central abdominal muscles here. And then you can always bring the feet up or lengthen the legs out and continue. We're strengthening this container that is having, this body that holds the spirit, so that we are, a physical body having a spiritual experience. And that spiritual experience and the physical experience can be balanced. Then you're balanced in body, mind, and spirit. And then hold for a moment and just feel that shape. And again, you're always being fully present. It's a training in that full presence. So you can be there for yourself and you can be there for another, and then be there for, all beings, be there for the earth, and then be there for a difficult person. Then pull the knees in, take a deep breath in and out. Coming to our second one that we've been practicing for the last month is knee to elbow. And this also just crosses the left brain to right brain. So you're balancing the two sides of the brain that actually get unbalanced. So you can do elbows. You can do tap hand to the knee. You can lift the knees up and you can lengthen the legs out. And as you get stronger, you can move from one to the other. And you exhale on each side. Listen to your body for how much work it needs to do today. Listen to the body for how much restorative yoga you need to do. And just honor it. Let your body do what it needs to do, while breathing gratitude through the heart, appreciation, caring for yourself, and compassion. Then hold one side and just feel that. Hold the other side. Take a breath. And then bring the knees in. Rock yourself up. And drop the knees side to side. Always nice to just feel the pelvis, loosen the pelvis. That the conjunction between that first chakra and the second, it holds so much. It's what walks us through life. It's what takes on a lot of the burden of the rest of the body, that lower body. You can use it all as metaphors for, the heaviness of the upper body onto that lower body, and then add physics, the amazement of the skeleton that in the feet that hold up this whole huge body. It's all physics. Then bring the knees to the right, and a little active isolated stretching here. And just feels so good to me to twist. Inhale and exhale with this twisting and twisting. Remember that back hand. If you have a wrist that hurts, then use your fist. Next time you come around, look over that right shoulder and walk yourself around as far as you can, letting that little warm up of the twist take you pretty far around. Keep your eyes open so your eyes are twisted as well. It's part of exercising the eyes, but it's also, again, this brain crossing, this brain strengthening from twisting the whole spine. Imagine wringing out the old and bringing in the new. Imagine cleaning the body with a rag and then wringing out that rag and letting it all just be out of you, and going into the sparkly light of the spine, sparkly light of all the chakras being stimulated, both calming you and energizing at the same time. Kind of a nice metaphor for the duality, from the opposites of all that we know. And then come back to center, dive into the knee, just because it feels so good. It also does a little extra like awakening of the body in a different way. You use this to actually get a little push up as well. So a little push up. Change directions with the roll. You guys all know this one. And you can bring in the energy of the dolphin and bring in the ocean in this one. And imagine that you're with a pod of dolphins, and we're all dolphins together, swimming together in a beautiful warm ocean with Trish in Hawaii. Yes, I want to be in a warm ocean. So imagine it, bring it into your consciousness, breathe it through your heart. Then reach up out of the crown of your head and just pause in the bliss of this beautiful ocean image. Switching sides. Active isolated stretching. Inhale. Remember, we've come up with a little bit of a pattern. Monday, start on the floor. Wednesday, get to standing first. Friday, a lot more on the floor, knowing that we've had a week of it. Monday, we've had a weekend of it. So, release yourself from all that is negative in the world and bring yourself to this moment of bliss, going, what is wrong with this moment? You won't be able to find anything. So look around, keep your eyes open, twist around. Some of you will be able to see that back foot. And it's a dance. You're dancing with this container for your spirit. And you're breathing gratitude, loving kindness, compassion. This joyful moment, just ecstatic, ecstasy, a joyful moment of beauty in a shape, of being alive. And then back around and dive into that knee, and we're back to the ocean. Take me back to the ocean. Take me back to the sea. Let me swim with the dolphins. Let me be free. Oh, I just made that up. Dive and imagine us together, sparkling, amazing women swimming together as a pod, and collect all of our other women friends, holding in our hearts all those that we spoke of in the in our opening community building. And I'm going to especially hold Jana today for the aspirations that she has. Change directions. Seeing Jana swimming, meditating with us. She's just on the airplane, but on her way to a silent retreat to recover her true self. Sometimes it's only in the silence we can get there. Then reach up out of the crown of the head and pause and just notice and just be fully present in this moment. Breathing. Wow. And then this vinyasa yoga, this dance of yoga, has the next step so right in front of us. It's on hands and knees. So the pattern that we've created here is really another metaphor for, oh yeah, what's the natural next step? The next step for us is find the spine in a different direction. There's no greater healing art than moving the spine in all the directions that it needs and wants to go. Expressing our bodies through what the spine can do. And so as you're out in the world, walking, shopping, getting in and out of a car, building things, doing art, what's your spine doing? Then hold one direction and don't hold the breath. So this process, this posture shows us a little bit of equanimity. It shows us the opposites. It shows us one direction and then the other direction. It shows us the two directions in movement. Then tuck the toes behind you. And again, balance arms and on arms and feet. You come up, heel walk to stretch the hamstrings, since we're not doing a separate stretch of the hamstrings today. Bend the knees. Usually you're up on your toes, and straighten out the feet. Some of you can have your heels down to the floor, others can't. Everything is good. Just experience this posture in the ways that you can, and then walk yourself forward. Hang over in ragdoll. Bring yourself up, stacking the vertebra, another thing that the spine can do. And then shake it out. Then the breath of joy to get us standing and energized. And the other, what are these called? The four Brahma Viharas: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. And the joy, actually, they call it sympathetic joy. And so I'd like to just hold that word, sympathetic joy. And I am not quite there yet to totally fully understand that word and why it's connected with joy. So I'll let you know when I get the answer. But in the meantime, we're going to hold that during the breath of joy. So at your own pace. And last time. And hook up. And then working with the spine still, this time to go side to side. Lift the left arm up and the right arm comes down, or your hand can be on your waist. Your left foot, left leg feels as though it's going down into the earth and you're making a half moon. Both hands can be on your waist if you need to. A weight can be in your hands if you want one. And then to the other side, reaching up and over. And now we're working with the spine in that curve that it can make side to side. And you're pausing, you're feeling, pulling at the abdominals is going to help you here. You know, anytime you're standing, those abdominals, if you can remember to squeeze at the pelvic floor, I found that is the hardest thing to remember, and the most powerful thing to have is that understanding. And then turn this into the windmill, which is one side, other side. And so now you're working that spine in these two directions. If it doesn't work for you, then, you know, you can always do hands on your waist or hands down, and shoulders kind of guide you. So modify with your wisdom. You know, don't wait for any yoga teacher to show you what your modification should be. You are such wise women. And then down. Widen the feet out, bend the knees, warrior goddess. Because we just want to, today we have to do this one, right? You know, we want to really support all women, all everywhere, women everywhere. You know, I'd support the men, but we're going to do that at another time. The women, you know, the awareness of the patriarchal understanding of the patriarchal culture around the whole world is well understood at this point. And we have to come back into equality, equanimity. Then shake out the arms, but keep the legs right there. And don't move the knees, but if you need to, get those knees aligned with that second toe. If you're finding that your knees are coming in or going out and your feet are doing something weird, see if you can get into alignment so you feel the strength that you have there. Then take the arms and twist in motion with a ha, 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 ha. And at your own pace, it might be slower. Ha, ha, ha. Your knees stay forward, your lower body stays right where it is if it can. Not everybody's can. You have to learn how your body works. And then back to center. Shake out. Shaking out is kind of like doing your own personal dance. Dancing makes you smarter. One reason is because you're constantly moving arms and legs in different directions. And then onto your feet. What I need most is to stretch my quad. So I've been working with you on, if you need a strap to work with this, then you have a strap or something nearby. And you can go to a wall or not, get grounded into the left foot and grab the right ankle. So if you're using a strap, you either use the loop, or you fold the strap in half and catch that ankle and you pull up. Then you can let go of your hand and you can tilt forward. Now, if you need the wall, then keep your hand on the wall. But if you don't need the wall and you don't need the strap, then just come into this posture and find your balance. And if you need one finger on the wall, you're really testing it out. And you're testing out, you know, what does your quad feel like? You know, so it's partly physical, because wherever you hold tension, you'll feel it. You'll feel the stiffness or the way that it feels a little sore sometimes. And then find the other side. Get there. I like to take my body weight and really get there, bend my knee, and then catch the other foot. Arm comes up. And you'll see there might be a real big difference on one side and the other. I certainly have them. On my injured knee, the quad is super tight. It means I should do this like 4 times a day. And then let it go. Shake it out again. It's always amazing how time flies. But before we come down, you can turn and inhale up and exhale, hands to the heart. And as you do this, you inhale through the heart, that incredible compassion, and then exhale.
And then this time we're going to inhale down and up and a little tiny back bend. Swan dive down, bend the knees. Straight legs flat, let back, look up. Hands come down to the floor. Step your both feet back into downward dog. Down to the knees and back into child. So see what your body wants to do with child. Again, you may want to put something under your head or something on top of your feet, something under your knees. And just hold there and go to that child within yourself. Go to and see which child comes forward, the inner child. Which inner child, perhaps you've done some of this work of healing the inner children within you, or knowing which ones need to be healed. Those inner children are real lessons for places in our psychology that play upon us. And so right now I'm embracing my 2-year-old, and I'm embracing that 2-year-old and just seeing her dance in the light. She loves picking wildflowers, and she's in a little, she's just newly able to just do so many things. And so I see the joy in her that I bring through my heart to light up my heart in gratitude for that image and that understanding of my little girl. I pick her up in my arms and I just hug her, and then I just take the walk with her, with the flowers, the wildflowers. And just see if any of these things resonate with you as you come back up and all the way around for us to close our class. Again, it'll probably be a few minutes over the 12 o'clock time. So whatever you have to do, decide if you want another posture or you just want to come to Shavasana. Will be about 5 minutes. So you can decide, do you want to bring your legs up for like 1 minute, like I do? Or do you want to lie down for 5 minutes on the long cushion, or choose something to close, or just go to Shavasana. Shavasana is the resting pose. It's the neutral pose. It's a pose of integration. And so is bringing your legs up. And of course, reclined goddess, we've done that a lot. And that's the one I love to see, the image of reclined goddess in a circle of women, all touching hands. Beautiful image. And the ancient mode of prayer that I learned from Braeden one time was, bless those who suffer. Bless those who witness the suffering. And bless those who cause the suffering. Bless all those who suffer. Bless all those who witness the suffering. And bless those who cause the suffering. The messages come from all traditions. All is one. Universal spirituality. They all say the same thing, unless they were hijacked by the patriarchal interpretation along the way, and the women were left out. Bless those who suffer. Bless those who witness the suffering. And bless those who cause the suffering. And bring our hands together at the heart. May we have peace, and may what we do here go out onto the world and make more peace. If you're in a posture, you can just stay there or release yourself slowly. So I just came off the block and came down into a constructive rest. With that prayer in my heart, I roll over to my side and rest for a moment in fetal posture, remembering the piece that is the developmental movement and the place that we've been with this developmental movement from in the womb. For many of us, it's a sleeping position. Then up into mermaid position. Again, a natural next step, natural movement. Pausing for a moment with the prayer in your heart. Bless those who suffer. Bless those who witness the suffering. Bless all those who cause the suffering, with the hope that blessings will help them change, will help them see the light and the love. Then when you're ready, finding your way up and